the Minister for External Affairs of Sri Lanka, members of the two delegations, friends from the media. I am delighted to be back in Colombo for the second time in my tenure as External Affairs Minister of India. It has been my good fortune to have known Professor Paris since he took over as Minister for External Affairs of Sri Lanka. We have developed an excellent personal relationship, and we have also extended that relationship into the bilateral area of Indo-Sri Lankan relationship. I have great admiration for his wisdom, for his scholarship, for his judicious application of mind over matters which come up before him. And I have learned a lot from Professor Paris. Yesterday, when I came in to Colombo, I had this gracious invitation by the President and the First Lady of Sri Lanka to participate in the Pongal celebrations that the President was holding. And indeed, I must acknowledge with gratitude the gesture the President showed towards me. I think the Pongal celebrations were slated to take place in the morning, but when the President came to know that I was going to come to Colombo around the afternoon, he was gracious enough to have the Pongal celebration shifted to the evening. I think that is the kind of relationship that we have. Protocol takes the back seat and goodwill, affection takes the front seat. I think it is indeed a wonderful gesture which I will have to recount to my countrymen and the policy makers in India. Well, our relationship has stood the test of times. As I was mentioning to Professor Paris, that the relationship has blossomed and the fragrance of that can be felt by all those who are involved. The scriptures, the epics, make mention of Sri Lanka as an important outpost for India. I wouldn't go into that in detail, but suffice for me to say that as I have always maintained that our relationship is seeped both in history, civilization, and bilateral relationship. We have just signed a memorandum of understanding specifying the modalities for the next stage of the housing project being implemented with India's assistance, which would roughly work out to 260 million US dollars. The MOU involves the construction of 49,000 houses out of a total of 50,000 houses. As you are aware, that the pilot project for construction of 1,000 houses is in an advanced stage of completion. During my visit to Jaffna tomorrow, I will be handing over the first lot of these houses to the beneficiaries. We have signed MOUs for cooperation in the field of agriculture and in the field of Telecommunications Regulatory Authority of India and Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka. Our development assistance are entirely based on the priorities set out by the Sri Lankan government. The main themes of these are connectivity, housing, health, education, livelihood restoration and economic revival. Our bilateral trade in goods would touch about 5 billion US dollars. India is also a leading player in Sri Lanka as far as investments and tourist arrivals are concerned. To sustain this positive momentum in our trade and economic relations and to take it to the next level, it is necessary to finalize a more comprehensive framework of economic cooperation. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, India is committed to the unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of Sri Lanka. It is our hope that the vision and leadership that resulted in an end to armed conflict will now be employed in the quest for genuine political reconciliation. We look forward to progress in the ongoing dialogue process. In order to address this issue in a timely manner, we will continue to work with the government of Sri Lanka and help in whatever way we can, to take this process forward in a spirit of partnership and cooperation. We have noted the many constructive recommendations contained in the recently released report on the lessons learned and a reconciliation commission. These recommendations, when implemented, would mark a major step forward in the process of genuine national reconciliation to which the Sri Lankan government is committed. Sri Lanka must seize this opportunity. The government of Sri Lanka has on many occasions conveyed to us its commitment to move forward towards a political settlement based on the full implementation of the 13th Amendment to the Sri Lankan Constitution and building on it so as to achieve a meaningful devolution of powers. We look forward to an expeditious and constructive approach to the dialogue process. We believe that continuation of the dialogue between the government and the TNA would pave the way for political settlement, including under the rubric of the Parliamentary Select Committee. I discussed this matter with Excellency the President this morning. The President assured me that he stands by his commitment to pursuing the 13th Amendment plus approach. I also took this opportunity to emphasize that the issue of fishermen is an emotive issue and needs to be handled with care on both sides. As we explore possible solutions, we must ensure that there is no use of force against the fishermen and they are treated in a humane manner. We were happy to note that the Joint Working Group on Fisheries, which met a couple of days ago, was able to look at various options to address this issue. Friends, India and Sri Lanka are bound by ties of history,